Okay, good day everyone. So for today, our topic about statistics and probability is appropriate rejection region for a given level of significance. So this is based from our most essential learning competencies, identifies the appropriate rejection region for a given level of significance when the population variance is assumed to be known and the population variance is assumed to be unknown. So the objectives are the following: define critical value, significance level, and rejection region. And then identify the critical value if the population variance is known or unknown, and identify the rejection region if the population variance is known or also unknown. So let's review your lesson on standard normal curve, which is all about areas under the curve. So I want you to shade the required area with color green, and for the remaining area, use color red. So ang gagawin nyo guys is mag-drawing kayo ng normal curve, tapos shade ng green yung required area. So number 1, between z equals negative 1.56 and z equals positive 1.56. For number 2 is to the left of z equals 2.05 or below z equals 2.05. Ang number 3 naman is to the right of z equals negative 1.3. Okay, gawin nyo na. Now, so tapos na po ba? Ang next nyo makikita ay ang sagot with this 3 review questions. So, ayan. So, sa between z, ang green part ay yung z is negative 1.56 and positive 1.56. So, yun yung between. So, red area, yung nasa dulo. Then, for number 2, to the left or below z equals 2.05, ito naman yun, yung green part and red part. Then, yung dito sa number 3, the red part will be to the right of z equals negative 1.3, yun yung green part, at yung nasa left niya naman, yun yung red part. So, dapat ganyan ang magiging sagot nyo dun sa ating review question. Now, rejection doesn't mean you aren't good enough. It means the other person failed to notice what you have to offer. Every time I thought I was being rejected from something good, I was actually being redirected to something better. So I want you to ponder and think about these two quotations. So ano ba ang ibig sabihin niyan para sa inyo? So it's all about rejection. So sabi nga, kapag daw tayo ay nare-reject, don't just give up or quit. Dapat tuloy-tuloy lang ang laban. So pag ang alam nating na-reject tayo sa isang bagay, maybe God has another plan which is better dun sa ating mga plano. So, para sa inyo, ano ba yung quotations na ito? Ano ba itong ibig sabihin nito? So, I want you to ponder about these quotations. So, ngayon naman, i-define natin yung critical value. So, ano ba yung connection ng rejection region na yan, yung areas under the curve sa ating magiging lesson? So, define muna natin ang mga terms na kailangan natin. Okay? A critical value is a point on the test distribution that is compared to the test statistic to determine whether to reject the null hypothesis. So, ito yung critical value. Meron tayong z-value at saka t-value. So, etong critical values for a test of hypothesis depend upon the test statistic, which is specific to the type of test and significance level alpha. So, yung type of test na nakita natin sa ating past lessons, yung left-tailed or right-tailed for one-tailed test and two-tailed test. So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng type of the test yan. Yung significance level naman, yung alpha, yun yung 0.05, 0.01, 0.025, or 0.1. So, ano nga ba yung significance level? It is denoted by alpha. Okay, yung parang A na may buntot, which defines the sensitivity of the test, and it is the probability of rejecting the null hypothesis if it is true. So, pag sinabing alpha is 0.05, ang ibig sabihin nito, the null hypothesis is rejected 5% of the time when it is in fact true. Okay? So, ano nga ba yung critical value ng C distribution? Ang critical value of Z or the C-score na tinatawag is used when the sampling distribution is normal or close to normal. The Z distribution is used when the population variance or standard deviation is known and the sample size is greater than or equal to 30. So tatandaan ito guys. Ginagamit ang Z distribution kapag ang population variance or standard deviation is known and the sample size is greater than or equal to 30. So, ito na ngayon yung mga critical value of Z. So, pag ang alpha, ito 0.01, 0.025, or 0.05, or 0.10, tapos ito yung left-tailed, right-tailed, or two-tailed. Yun yung type of test. So, ito yung mga gagamitin nating value. So, naka-table na yan. Z-table. Okay? Tandaan ha, variance is known or standard deviation is known and then n is greater than or equal to 30. Okay? So, ulitin natin yung left-tailed test. Kapag ang alternative hypothesis is gumagamit ng less than symbol, kapag naman greater than symbol, it is a right-tailed test. Kapag naman not equal symbol sa alternative hypothesis is a two-tailed test. Okay, so try natin. Gamitin natin yung table. Find the critical Z values in each case. Assume that the normal distribution applies. Okay, number 1, left-tailed draw. So ito yung left-tailed test with alpha is 0.01. So left ang value ng Z is negative 2.33. For number 2, two-tailed. So dito titingnan, two-tailed test with alpha of 0.05. Ito yon. So, saan sila nag-intersect? That is plus or minus 1.96. Bakit plus and minus? Kasi di ba two-tailed? So, dalawang dulo yon. Meron sa left at meron sa right. And number 3, right-tailed test with alpha of 0.025. So, sa right-tailed, 0.025, that is 1.96. So, yan yung magiging critical Z value natin. Now, t-distribution. Kailan naman ito ginagamit? Ang t-distribution is used when the population variance or standard deviation is unknown and the sample size is less than 30. So, gagamit naman tayo ngayon ng tinatawag na t-table. So, ano ba yung itsura ng t-table? Meron na yan dati, sinend ko sa inyo. GC. Okay, ito yung t-table natin. So, degrees of freedom ay nandyan. Sa first column, andito yung mga alpha natin or significance level. For one tail, ito ang inyong titingnan. This one tail. So, highlight natin ng blue. And then, two tails, ito naman, highlight ko ulit ng blue. Yan yung two tails. So, dyan ang tingin. Tapos, ito yung mga magiging critical T value. Okay, let's have an example. Gamitin natin ang table. Okay. Sa first one, find the critical T value, left tail draw, alpha is 0.05, and DF equals 20. So, DF equals 20, hahanapin mo dito. DF is 20, ayan yon. Tapos, sabi niya alpha is 0.05, left-tailed. So, hindi mo siya titingnan dito sa two tails. One tail yon, 0.05. Tapos, 20, cross niya is, or intersection niya is this one, 1.725. Since it's left tail, so negative 1.725. Dito naman sa number 2, given is sample size na 17. Eh, di ba pag sabi natin, pag compute ng degrees of freedom, that is sample size minus 1. So, ang DF natin is 17 minus 1, it's gonna be 16. Alpha is 0.01, and then right tail. So, again, sa one tail tayo titingin. So, one tail, ang alpha natin again is 0.01. Okay, 0.01. Ito yon, one tail. And then, 16 ang degrees of freedom. So, that is gonna be 2.583. Okay? Next, how about the two-tailed test? So, two-tailed naman tayo, n is 26. Again, DF, compute it. N minus 1, 26 minus 1 equals 25. So, 25, ang alpha is 0.05 and two-tailed. So, 25 Ito yon, alpha is 0.05 and 2 tail. So that is 2.060. Since it's 2 tails, so plus and minus or positive and negative 2.60. Ito yon. Okay? Now, alam na natin gumamit ng T-table. Ano naman yung tinatawag na critical region? Ito also ay tinatawag na rejection region or ang area ng tails of the distribution. So, kung babalikan natin yung review part natin, di ba, ito yon. Etong mga red part na ginawa nyo, yan, yung red na yan, yan yung tinatawag na tails of the distribution, area ng tails. So, which is, you called also the critical region or the rejection region. Okay, yun ang tatandaan. Now, ang rejection region, if population variance is known, okay, gagamit tayo ng Z-table dito. Okay, tandaan yan, Z. Then, level of significance is alpha is 0.10. Example, then for a one-tail test, the critical region is yung below ng negative 0.28 or above ng Z equals 1.28. Pagdating naman kay rejection region, if population variance is unknown, gagamit tayo ng T-distribution or T-table. Okay? And let's use this, 20 degrees of freedom, di ba? Sa 20 degrees of freedom, ang level ng significance is alpha is 0.10. Sa one-tailed test, ang ibig sabihin niyan, ang value ng critical value ng T is negative 1.325. Kapag naman right-tailed siya, test is positive 1.325. So for a two-tailed test, we're using alpha over 2 kasi nga dalawang side yon, dalawang buntot or tail. 0.05, then T is equal to negative 1.725 and T equals 1.725. Tandaan itong example na ginawa ko is for the 20 degrees of freedom. Okay? So, ganito yung magiging itsura ng rejection region. Sa left tail, ayan, nasa left side. Sa right tail, nasa right side. At two tail, both sides ng distribution. Okay, let's have an example. Determine the critical values in the appropriate rejection region. Sketch the sampling distribution. Okay, so this one, right-tailed test where variance is known and alpha is 0.05 and equals 34. So this one, variance is known and is 34, which is greater than or equal to 30. So obviously, gagamit tayo ng Z distribution. Okay? So, sa Z distribution, ang value ng alpha is 0.05. Balikan natin. Alpha is 0.05. Okay, this one. Z distribution, anong sabi niya? This is one-tailed or two-tailed. Importante yon, yung type of test. So, right-tailed, one-tailed test siya. Right-tailed, alpha is 0.05, so 2.33. So, kapag i-drawing natin yan dito, drawing mo, okay, this one. Tapos, ang 2.33, assume natin na dito ay 0, di ba? So, 1, 2, so let's say dito ang 2.33. Okay, 2.33. So, draw lang tayo ng vertical line. Tapos, ito na ngayon yung rejection region. So, ibig sabihin yan, ang rejection region natin, okay, this one. So, the rejection region now, okay, rejection region natin ngayon is Z is greater than or equal to 2.33. So, di ba parang yung lesson lang natin sa areas under the curve. 2.33. So, balikan natin naman yung second example. Ang sabi sa second example is two-tailed test where sigma is unknown, alpha is 0.05 and is 10. So obviously, this is a T distribution. Okay, so alpha is 0.05. So tingnan sa T distribution, alpha is 0.05 and n is equal to 10. So magiging 9 ang degrees of freedom. So sa 9 tayo, alpha is 0.05 and two-tailed siya. So 2.262. So kapag nag-drawing naman tayo niyan, ito-drawing natin. Okay? Ito siya. Drawing tayo ng bago. So this one. So andito yung 2.2. Assume natin dito ang negative 2.262. Galing yan sa table natin. Okay, dito naman yung positive 2.262. So which means, ang ating critical region ay itong part na to, or the rejection region. Okay, andyan yung rejection region. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Since we're using the T distribution, ang T, rejection region natin, is T is greater than, ito yon, ito yung greater than, mas mataas, 2.262, and T is less than or equal to negative 2.262. Less than, to the left ng negative 2.62. Ito naman yun. Okay, we're talking about rejection region, two-tailed. And now, yung number 3 naman, left tail test, known again, and out greater than 40, z-test ang gagamitin dyan. So, 0.01. So, sa 0.01, diba? Drawing ulit natin. So, hanapin muna natin yung critical value. Importante yun. 0.01. Ito yun. 0.01. Okay, anong sabi niya? Left tail. So, it's negative 2.233. Okay? That is negative 2.33. So, nasa ba yun? Around this area again, negative 2.33. So, ang rejection region niya, itong area na ito. So, ibig sabihin, Z is less than or equal to negative 2.33 for our rejection region. Okay, may katanungan po. So, ganun lang yung rejection region. So, tandaan ha, sa left tail test, less than symbol ang ginagamit kapag na-alternative hypothesis. Greater than sa na-alternative hypothesis kapag right tail. Two-tail test naman, not equal ang ginagamit na symbol sa alternative hypothesis. Tandaan yan ha. Tapos, let's have now the real-life problems application. Okay, example. A survey report, a customer in the drive-thru lane at one fast food chain spends 8 minutes to wait for his or her order. Sample of 24 customers at the drive-thru lane show the mean of 7.5 minutes with a standard deviation of 3.2. So, yung standard deviation dito ay ang standard deviation ng sample. Okay? So, alpha is 0.05. So, aralin natin. So, yan yung problem. Hanapin ang hypothesis, which is the null and alternative. So, mu equals 8 and mu is less than 8. Since gumamit ng less than symbol, it's a left tail test. So, from the problem, the population standard deviation is unknown. The level of significance is 0.05. The number of sample is 24. And that means unknown and 24 less than 30, we use the t value. Okay, so kapag tinignan natin yan, degrees of freedom niya ay 23. Okay, so 23, tingnan natin sa ating t-table. The 23 is here, one tail siya, di ba? 0.05, so 1.714. So kapag dinrawing ulit natin yan, dahil left tail siya, negative. So ito yung magiging problem. So, it's like negative, nandito yung negative, 1.714. Then, shade natin ang ating rejection region. So, ibig sabihin, ang rejected area natin ay nandito, rejection area or region, that is T is less than or equal to negative 1.714. Okay? So, yun lang ang lesson. At nandun sa inyong performance task, one of your performance tasks, ito po, yung mag-create kayo ng meme about concepts in hypothesis testing, such as a hypothesis testing or rejection region. So, what do you mean? Test again. Yan, na sample. Nag-send na rin ako ng mga examples sa GC nyo. Okay? So, aralin pa yung ibang examples kung paano i-compute yung rejection region if population or standard deviation or population variance or standard deviation, population standard deviation is known or unknown. Okay? So, yun lang. Hopefully, if you have maintindihan nyo. If you have questions, PM lang po. Tapos mga clarifications naman natin nasa GC. So, yun lang. Hoping magamit nyo ito.